Hi guys, welcome to Bioexplaining once again. This is me Anushka and here I am with the second part of our chapter Reproductive Health, and in today's video we are going to discuss about some of the major contraceptive methods that are available. So let's begin. Well, so talking about contraceptive methods. So before we start discussing about contraceptive methods, हम लोग को क्या जानना है कि what is meant by the term contraception, right? What is contraception? So you all must surely be knowing that contraception refers to birth control methods, right? What do we mean by contraception? These are the birth control methods, और in simple words आप ऐसे बोल सकते हैं कि these are methods to prevent pregnancy. ठीक है, what can we write? That these are methods to prevent pregnancy. So contraceptive methods are methods to prevent pregnancy, or these are birth control methods, right? So there are various contraceptive methods that are available, right? But what is in use in the market, or what is actually good for the people to use, depends on the fact that whether they qualify certain criteria that an ideal contraceptive should have. कि एक मेथड को एक्चुअली यूज करने के लिए कुछ स्पेसिफिक कैरेक्टरिस्टिक्स है दैट दे शुड पोसेस. तो वन बाय वन देखते हैं कि वो क्या क्या है. फर्स्ट इज इट शुड बी यूजर फ्रेंडली. यूजर फ्रेंडली क्या हो गया कि the user or the person who is using the contraceptive method should not face much difficulty in using that method. Then it should be easily available, because purpose क्या है contraception का? To prevent pregnancy, birth control. So that means it has to be easily available to the mass population. आप urban area बोलो कि rural area बोलो, जो भी हो, mass population should be able to have access to the contraceptive method. तो इसीलिए easily available होना बहुत से important है. नेक्स्ट क्या आता है? इट शुड बी इफेक्टिव, कि बाय यूजिंग दिस मेथड प्रेगनेंसी शुड बी कंट्रोल्ड. से 1 in 100 cases there can be failure, that is separate exception, but 99% of the cases this contraceptive methods, they should be effective, that is they should be able to successfully control pregnancy. Next क्या है? Next is they should be cheap, for obvious reasons, for people in the rural areas to use, or for people of weaker economical sections to have the contraceptive methods in use. It has to be affordable for them, otherwise people will not resort them. Then they have to be reversible with no or least side effects. रिवर्सिबल का मतलब क्या है? रिवर्सिबल का मतलब यह है कि जो स्टेट में था वहां पे वापस चले जाना, right? That means when a person uses a contraceptive method, it prevents pregnancy. लेकिन next, if they have sexual intercourse without contraceptive method, they should be able to reproduce in ideal scenario. That means a contraceptive method should not prevent pregnancy forever. It is a reversible thing, right? And there should not be much of side effects. And another reason, another point that ideal contraceptive should qualify is they should not in any way interfere with the sexual drive or desire of the sexual act of the user. So all these points, if met, a product or a method qualifies as an ideal contraceptive. I hope this is clear for us. Well, so क्या है ना कि there are various types or categories of contraceptives based on how they act, means their mechanism of action क्या है, what is the composition of them, how to use them. तो ये सब चीजों के basis में क्या है, contraceptives are of different categories, right? We have naturally a traditional methods of contraception. There is barrier method, IUDs मतलब इंट्रा-यूट्राइन डिवाइसेस, देन आता है ओरल कॉन्ट्रासेप्टिव्स या जिसे हम लोग पिल्स कहते हैं कॉमनली, देन इंजेक्टेबल्स है, इम्प्लांट्स है, एंड सर्जिकल मेथड्स भी है, राइट? तो वी विल डिस्कस अबाउट ईच ऑफ दिस इन डिटेल, लेकिन आज के वीडियो में हम लोग क्या कवर करेंगे, नेचुरल या तो ट्रेडिशनल मेथड, देन बैरियर मेथड के बारे में थोड़ा पढ़ेंगे, एंड देन IUDs के बारे में पढ़ेंगे, राइट? तो विल कीप इट शॉर्ट टुडे। तो ये 3 मेथड्स आज हम लोग कवर करेंगे। सो लेट मी पुट दैट दीज आर टू बी कवर्ड इन today's lecture or in today's video. ठीक है, तो आज ये 3 मेथड्स हम लोग कवर करेंगे। फर्स्ट क्या है? फर्स्ट मेथड वी आर डिस्कसिंग इज नेचुरल मेथड्स, या तो हम लोग क्या पढ़े अभी, दीज आर ऑल्सो नोन एज द ट्रेडिशनल मेथड्स, नेचुरल मेथड्स या तो ट्रेडिशनल मेथड्स। ओके, सो प्रिंसिपल क्या है ना इसमें कि they'll basically avoid the ovum and the sperms from meeting, right? Ovum क्या है? Ovum is the female gamete, like these are basics, हम सबको पता है। Ovum is the female gamete. Then sperms we have, sperms क्या है? Sperm is the male gamete. So them meeting का मतलब क्या हो गया? Them meeting, meeting means this will lead to the process of क्या? Fertilization, fusion जिसे हम लोग कहते हैं। So the mechanism of action of this natural methods या तो traditional methods जो भी कहो is avoiding the chances of ovum and sperms to meet, मतलब fertilization को prevent करना, right? तो हर method का ही advantage disadvantage होता है। यहाँ पे advantage क्या है कि there are no side effects, क्योंकि यू आर नॉट यूजिंग एनी काइंड ऑफ केमिकल मेडिसिन, कुछ नहीं है, कोई डिवाइस इम्प्लांटेशन, नथिंग इज देयर, राइट? सो देयर आर नो साइड इफेक्ट्स, जीरो साइड इफेक्ट्स। बट डिसएडवांटेज क्या है कि चांसेस ऑफ फेलियर आर क्वाइट हाई, मतलब द चांसेस ऑफ प्रेगनेंसी बीइंग अवॉइडेड इज नॉट दैट हाई, राइट? लाइक इन अ लॉट ऑफ केसेस प्रेगनेंसी माइट अकर। ओके, तो नेचुरल मेथड्स का प्रिंसिपल इन वन लाइन, एडवांटेज डिसएडवांटेज हम लोग को पता चल गया। अब क्या है कि नेचुरल मेथड्स बहुत से टाइप के हैं, तो एक एक करके लेट अस डिस्कस। तो फर्स्ट लेट्स टॉक अबाउट पीरियोडिक एब्स्टिनेंस। तो इन सिंपल वर्ड्स हम सब ने पढ़ा है कि व्हाट इज द मेंस्ट्रुअल साइकिल का कॉन्सेप्ट। मेंस्ट्रुअल साइकिल का कॉन्सेप्ट है कि फर्स्ट 5 days देयर विल बी मेंस्ट्रुएशन, that is shedding of the uterine lining, blood loss होगा वहां पे। then next major event आता है कि एकदम straight 14th day के बारे में अगर हम लोग बात करें तो तब जाके ovulation होता है, मतलब 14th day में the ova is released from the mature Graafian follicle। तो कॉमन सेंस क्या कहते हैं कि ये जो 14th डे है इसके आसपास द ओवम इज रेडी कि अब अगर स्पर्म्स आए तो दे विल मीट, दे विल फ्यूज, राइट? तो यहाँ पे कॉन्सेप्ट क्या है कि देखो सिंपली व्हाट एवर वी हैव डिस्कस्ड जस्ट नाउ कि अराउंड दिस 14th डे में क्या होता है, 14th डे इज द like ideal day, or this is considered to be the day for ovulation. So we'll just put that 14th day ovulation takes place. ओव्यूलेशन टेक्स प्लेस। तो 14th के आसपास अराउंड 10 to 17th को क्या माना जाता है, दैट इज कंसिडर्ड टू बी द फर्टाइल पीरियड, मतलब सबसे फर्टाइल अ फीमेल इज ड्यूरिंग दिस टाइम बिकॉज द ओवम इज नाउ रेडी and is waiting for the sperms to come and fuse, right? So periodic abstinence का मतलब that to avoid sexual intercourse from day 10 to 17 of the menstrual cycle because ovulation is expected around this time, right? So for this method to be successful, it is very important that the female, the mating couple, they have a track of the female's menstrual cycle, the dates, like what is the 14th day, what is the 10th to 17th day, that should be very tightly regulated, right? Because it absolutely depends on when the ovum is ready to fuse with the sperms. Well, so next method क्या है? Next is withdrawal or coitus interruptus. So coitus interruptus is the other name for the withdrawal method. Huh? So in this method, the male partner withdraws his penis from the vagina just before ejaculation so as to avoid insemination. Right? So what is meant by this method? कि ejaculation से क्या होता है? What is ejaculation? Basically, ejaculation is release of the semen. What is meant by the semen? We surely know this by now, that semen is a combination or a mixture of the sperms along with the seminal fluid. Right? Seminal fluid का meaning the secretions of the seminal vesicles, prostate gland, bulbourethral gland, सब कुछ मिला के. So release of the semen into the female tract. Right? Into the female tract. So just before ejaculation, that is just before the semen is about to be released, the male partner withdraws the copulatory organ. We again know this, I'm sure, that the penis is the copulatory organ. Right? So what does this prevent? This prevents the semen from getting into the female tract. So hence, if the semens are not released into the female tract, there's not going to be any kind of fertilization or fusion. So hence, pregnancy is prevented. Right? The other method that we have is known as lactational amenorrhea. तो first तो क्या समझना है हम लोगों को कि लैक्टेशन का मतलब क्या है? लैक्टेशन का मतलब in simple words production of breast milk. Right? Lactation is production of breast milk by the mother. And amenorrhea means absence of menstruation. Menorrhea is menstruation. अगर उसके पहले आप a लगा दो, amenorrhea or amenorrhea, that refers to the absence of menstruation. So what happens is right after parturition. Parturition का meaning क्या है? Parturition refers to childbirth. So just after childbirth, there is intense lactation that occurs. Intense lactation matlab during this period, the mother now produces extensive amount of breast milk, right? So during this time, no ovulation takes place. Lactational amenorrhea means that right after lactation, when there is no menstruation, there is no ovulation that takes place, right? तो मतलब as long as ये वाला period है, like birth say approximately 5 to 6 months, as long as the mother breastfeeds the child fully, मतलब कि intense lactation continuously happens, then there is no ovulation. So as a result, even if unprotected sexual intercourse occurs, there is very less chance of conception. Right? Conception is what? Conception is getting pregnant. Please don't confuse between contraception and conception, guys. I don't think that y'all will confuse, but just to say, contraception is prevention of pregnancy and conception is getting pregnant. So these are different terms. Huh? So lactational amenorrhea is after childbirth, there is intense lactation, so no ovulation. As a result of that, what happens is the chances of getting pregnant is very low or almost null, almost zero. Okay, so we are done with the natural or the traditional methods, right? Now we are getting into the barrier methods. So what does barrier means? Barrier means there is some kind of a hindrance, an obstacle that two things will not meet because physically something is present there. So what is happening or what is the working mechanism of barrier method is that the ovum, that is the female gamete, the sperm, that is the male gamete, are prevented from physically meeting with the help of barriers. There is some kind of a hindrance that is present in between. The most common method that we have here is the usage of condoms. So condom usage is the most easily available as well as one of the most affordable and easy to use methods. So condoms are made out of thin rubber or the latex sheath. What do? Male condoms cover the male copulatory organ, cover the penis, and the female condoms cover the vagina and the cervix. That is the end part of the female reproductive tract. Just before coitus, so that the ejaculated semen would not enter the female tract. Matlab, in simple words, what is happening कि male and female gametes are prevented from meeting each other even if ejaculation is occurring. So this is just a diagram to show the male condom and the female condom. Male condom is worn on the penis and the female condom is worn on the, like, it covers the vagina and the cervix. So this is one major function of the condom, that is to prevent pregnancy. There's yet another important function of the condom, that is it prevents sexually transmitted infections, STDs or STIs. Okay, so the additional benefit is it prevents STIs as well as AIDS from getting transmitted. So these STIs, AIDS, how do they happen? They happen because AIDS is because of the transfer of the body fluids of the infected, the diseased person to a healthy person, right? So condoms prevent the genital fluids of both partners from meeting. So as a result, the transmission of these infections and viruses, that is low. So AIDS, the full form, I hope all of you know. Still, I'll put it here once. Acquired immunodeficiency syndrome. ठीक है, acquired immunodeficiency syndrome मतलब क्या होता है कि immune system completely gets compromised and this is caused by the virus, that is HIV. HIV क्या है? HIV is human immunodeficiency virus. Okay, so what happens is these condoms are disposable and they can be self-inserted and gives privacy to the user. Okay, apart from that, all you need to know is just one classical example, that is Nirod, which is a popular condom brand in case of male condoms. So I guess we have understood condoms, their usage, mechanism of action and everything, and we have also realized the fact कि पहले जो ideal contraceptives के points हम लोगों ने पढ़े आज, like these are the points that a method should satisfy to be an ideal contraceptive. The condom basically defines all of those points. Next thing that we'll come to is diaphragms, cervical caps and walls. So ये भी आता है किसके अंदर? This will also come under the category of barrier methods of contraception. ठीक है, barrier methods of contraception में ये आता है, right? So diaphragm, cervical caps and walls, so these are made out of rubber. Again, these are made out of rubber and these are inserted into the female reproductive tract, right? So diaphragm, cervical caps, walls, males के लिए नहीं है. These are for the females. So this is the diagram of each of them. Just know to identify them. That's it. That this is a diaphragm, this is a cervical cap, and this is a vault. All three look kind of similar with exceptions and differences in their sizes and all, and they are all made out of rubber. So what does it do? It covers the cervix during the coitus. Cervix क्या है? Cervix is the part of the female reproductive tract that opens outside, right? The cervix is kind of the end part. It's a part of the birth canal. Vagina and cervix साथ में birth canal बनाता है. So it covers the cervix so that the sperms or the semen cannot enter further inside during coitus. I hope we know what is meant by coitus. Coitus refers to sexual intercourse. ठीक है? Understandable for all. So mechanism of action क्या है? Diaphragms, walls and this one, they prevent the conception by blocking the entry of sperms through the cervix. They will cover the cervix का opening so that the sperms cannot enter further. And one more thing is that they are reusable. जैसे कि in case of condoms, it is not at all reusable, one time use, but in case of diaphragms, walls and caps, these are reusable. Okay. Another thing that we have, that is spermicidal creams, jellies and foams. ये क्या है ना कि this is just an image to show spermicide creams and gels. So these are used along with these barrier methods so that the contraceptive efficacy is increased. So spermicidal creams, jellies and foams are not independently used. Along with the barrier methods, they are used such that the contraceptive efficacy or the contraceptive success that increases. I hope यहाँ तक clear है. तो अब किस चीज को लेके बात करेंगे? Let's start discussing about intra-uterine devices, IUDs. तो नाम से ही आधा मीनिंग पता होना चाहिए. Intra-uterine, that means uterus में insert होगा. So these devices are inserted by doctors or expert nurses in the uterus through the vagina, right? In the uterus through the vagina. So पहले जो methods we have studied, तो उसके साथ basic difference क्या है? Those were self-used. Like condoms, you can self-insert. Diaphragms, walls, you can self-insert. IUDs cannot be self-inserted. Doctors या trained nurses चाहिए for this process, right? And this is just a diagram to show. See, if you know the diagram of the female reproductive tract, right? So ये वाला part क्या है? This part is the uterus that is present. And where is the this thing? What is that called? IUD. Where is it placed? See, IUD is placed here. In this location, the IUD is placed. I'm just marking with black right now. Here, through the vagina. Through the vagina, it is inserted and it's placed. I'll erase it to give clarity to the diagram. Okay, so the IUDs are placed inside the uterus by doctors or expert nurses. So if you look into the diagram of an IUD, you see it has a monofilament thread and then on top it has a copper ka part, right? What happens is that IUDs can have different categories, right? Non-medicated IUDs जो है, जैसे कि Lippes loop हो गया, these are made up of polyethylene material. हाँ, this is just an example of a Lippes loop, how it looks like. And then क्या आते हैं? Copper releasing IUDs, just की पहले image में जो हम लोग देख के आए, है ना? तो क्या examples है? Copper T is an example. Copper 7 is an example. Multilo 375 is an example. So Multilo 375 में ये 375 का क्या significance है कि 375 millimeter square of copper wire is there around its tip. तो non-medicated हो गया IUDs, copper releasing IUDs हो गया. And then we have hormone releasing IUD. Hormone releasing का मतलब they will contain some kind of the female hormones. जैसे कि progestazert is there, then LNG20 is there, which contains levonorgestrel. Levonorgestrel is what? It is a kind of progesterone, and you all know that progesterone is a natural female hormone that is produced by the female tract, that is by the corpus luteum mainly. It is produced in the female reproductive system. Okay, so the mechanism of action of IUDs is that they increase the phagocytosis of sperms within the uterus. What is meant by phagocytosis? That means the cells that are present in the female body, the defensive cells, they will phagocytose the sperms. They will capture and eat the sperms. Phagocytosis is what? Eating of a cell, right? they'll phagocytose the sperms within the uterus, and जो copper ions present है copper releasing IUDs में, they will suppress the motility and fertilizing capability of the sperms. मतलब triple action कि first तो the sperms are getting phagocytosed, then their motility is being reduced so that they cannot effectively reach the ovum, and third is their fertilizing capability itself is brought down, right? Then the hormonal IUDs that you have, what do? They twerk the uterus का nature for the implantation. They make the uterus unsuitable ताकि implantation ना हो जाए, and they make the cervix hostile to the sperms. Implantation क्या है आप सबको पता है, that is the at the blastocyst stage, the blastocyst will come and sit on the uterine wall, and from there further cell division will occur, and then धीरे धीरे it will become a full grown embryo, fetus and all that. So hormonal IUDs makes the uterus unsuitable for implantation and cervix को भी hostile बना देगा, so that they kill the sperms as soon as the sperms enter. They try to kill the sperms. So IUDs are ideal contraceptive for females who want to delay pregnancy and or space children. तो यहाँ तक आज हम लोगों ने जो पढ़ा, we have gotten just one method in the barrier method for the males, that is the condom, male condoms. बाकी जो कुछ भी है, IUDs for females, diaphragms, caps, walls for females, female condoms are for females, right? So only the male condom is a barrier method that is available for the males. तो I guess यहाँ तक clear है. एक बार वो first वाला slide में चलते हैं. टाइप्स या कैटेगरीज ऑफ कॉन्ट्रासेप्टिव्स जो था, तो यहाँ पे क्या क्या हम लोगों ने डिस्कस कर लिया. 1 2 3 वी हैव डिस्कस्ड, फिनिश्ड डिस्कसिंग. नेक्स्ट जो वीडियो आने वाला है उसमें वी आर गोइंग टू कंसिडर द ओरल कॉन्ट्रासेप्टिव्स, इंजेक्टेबल्स, इम्प्लांट्स एंड सर्जिकल मेथड्स. उसके बाद वाले वीडियो में करेंगे, राइट? सो फ्रॉम हियर वी आर गोइंग टू स्टार्ट इन द नेक्स्ट वीडियो. So till then, stay tuned with us, and yes, wait for the next video. If you liked our video, then please like, share and subscribe to my channel by explaining. Hold on for the next video. I'll be back with the next part of this chapter very soon. Thank you. Bye-bye.